All right, we got quick picks and hits right here with Mike and Brandon. First of all, we got to go over how terrible our picks were on that last card.
Could have been better.
Could have been. I don't think it could have been worse for me.
Yeah.
I think I went 0 for 5. That's the first for me.
On the main card.
On the main card. But that's the only thing that these people got to see. So we're gonna make it to where we do a little more. We do not just the main card this time, but we do a little more. First, let's talk about. So I was 0-5. You were 1-5. The one fight you got right was
with JoJo Calderwood.
Yeah, Joanna, and I got it wrong with Jessica I. And then we got everything else wrong.
Well, on Frivola, they changed his opponent, so.
Well, yeah, so that one we don't count that one. So other than that, we got Michael Chandler did what we didn't think he was going to do and knocked Dan Hooker out really quick, what nobody else has done. And then Connor was looking good. Dustin started landing that calf kick and then finished him. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do better this week so we can actually have something people can listen to instead of being like, these dudes don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Well, I mean, at the same time, man, even with the Connor and Dustin fight, we both picked McGregor as likely to land his big shot and get the win. But we also talked about how leg kicks were going to be a big factor in the southpaw versus southpaw fight, and they were. Connor just wasn't as prepared for him as he should have been, and Dustin used him better. And, that was one of the things we talked about is, like, Dustin's one of his ways to win would be to utilize that tactic.
Oh, yeah. Well, Dustin or Connor could have went either way because
either one of them could have done it.
Dustin was getting his leg beat up bad by Justin Gaethje. Like, almost finished. Justin, if he would have landed one more leg kick, they would have probably stopped the fight. Right? It was that bad. But for some reason when that happened, he stopped throwing the kicks and started throwing punches and got knocked out. But Dustin took that into his game plan, which is smart.
Yep.
I know Jose Aldo wish he could have done that.
Yeah, for sure. Jose that, used to do leg kicks.
Yeah. Well, he did his last fight.
Yep, that's true. It's good to see him back.
All right, so before we move on to this UFC card, we got the bare knuckle fights tonight, probably starting in 4 minutes. Paige Van Zandt, main event. She's fighting who?
She's fighting Britton Hart, who's used to be a pro boxer, maybe still active pro boxer, but she's been in the bare knuckle game for a few fights now. She fought the champion at one point, and I think she got knocked out by.
Is the champion the one with the dreads? Like, kind of looks.
Hispanic? She was. She lost the title, but then the person that beat her stopped fighting, went to Invicta, I think, and only doing MMA now. So I think they might have gave her the title back, or she might be fighting for the title again. But yeah, that's the one that knocked her out, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was when Jason fought.
Yeah, that was that fight. Yeah, that
was
that
the first fight. Yeah.
So that was her. That was in the first one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the second one she fought somebody else and lost her title, I think.
Yeah. I remember that. So I think Paige is gonna piece her up personally.
Yeah, I think. So the only thing is, it's hard to say because Paige's game in boxing and bare knuckle boxing is definitely going to be a little bit different than her game. And she's very kick heavy on her feet in mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
So it's I'm really interested to see how she fights, what changes she's made. What I do know is her opponent has reasonably good head movement, makes people miss a lot, and has pretty good straight punches.
Does she counter off of that though?
She doesn't really follow it up that hard. So, and that's the thing. Like in this fight, I think toughness is going to be a big factor. And they don't come much tougher than Paige. I mean, she gets written off because she's pretty, but man, she is tough as hell.
If you've ever watched her fight, she broken arm, gets cut up, bleeding everywhere. She doesn't even think twice. You don't ever see her like question it one time. Doesn't question herself at all.
Yeah, fighting 3 rounds with a broken arm, man. That's super impressive. And her fight with Rose was the first one that impressed me. Like she got her face all destroyed up by Rose. She's bleeding gallons.
Oh yeah.
Not even phased, And I guess you see that a lot in MMA. But the big thing is you do get a little prejudice. She's like a young, pretty girl. You don't expect her to be as tough as somebody like. Joe. I mean, she took it better than Joe Stevenson took it.
Oh, bro.
Joe Stevenson's crying when he's bleeding like that.
Yeah.
She's out there like, all right, let's get out there again. Let's do it again.
Yep.
Next round.
Yep.
Yeah. Fought out of that rear naked choke. I mean, she had an easy out because I think Rose had like the tightest rear naked choke ever. She got out of it, got back in the fight.
She fought that rear naked choke off a bunch of times. Like,
Yeah.
She's way tougher than you would just think. But yeah, so obviously they got to think it's going to be a good fight because she's only a minus 125 favorite and Britton Hart's a minus 105. So it's pretty close call.
Yeah, I think it's competitively matched, which I don't know if was the best move for bare knuckle right now, but I think it's going to be a fun fight to watch.
Yeah,
know?
I think what's crazy is that's not even the fight that I'm excited to see. I want to see Johnny Bedford and Dat win.
Oh, yeah.
I think Dat win is going to get that win.
That's right, man. Yeah.
And then one more. I didn't know Trey Brown started doing bare knuckle. Martin Trey Brown, you know him and Yoda fought.
Yeah.
I think him and Brock fought on Titan, and he ended up TKOing Brock.
I think he fought. Didn't he fight? What's his name? Diesel. I thought Trey Brown might have fought Diesel. I know Brock did. Old MMA fighter.
Oh no, that was Brock.
I know Brock did. I thought he did too. I'm not sure though.
If he did, I don't know.
Might have been somebody. I might be confusing him with somebody else.
But I think that wins. His boxing's a little better. All right. Regardless, so on those, I'm taking Paige and I'm taking that win.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the same.
All right, we might get that win.
Yeah.
All right, and then moving on to the UFC card. What you want to do? You want to start at the bottom because I don't know a lot of these dudes.
Yeah, because I actually didn't look up all the fights yet, so I don't know everyone that's on there right now. Let's do the main card. We're awesome at the main card, too.
You want to just do the main card?
For right now, yeah.
All right. Main card starts with Diego Fajeda and Beneil Daryush, which is going to be a beast of a fight. I'm going Beneil Daryush.
Man, that is a great fight. Both guys phenomenal on the ground. Really been had their ups and downs a little bit in the UFC, but I feel like Diego Ferreira, he's had his downs earlier, and I feel like he got past them stronger. Beneil Daryush, he's run into some adversity here and there, but the guy's phenomenal. And his striking, I think on the feet he's going to have a big advantage. On the ground, they're both excellent, but I think on the ground, Diego Ferreira's got a big advantage. Even though it might not be as obvious, when you're at that kind of a level, it's the little things really go a long way. And I think, it's a tough one to pick. But I'm going to go with Diego on this one. All right, they've both improved their striking a lot. I think Beneil has improved more overall, his overall MMA game. But I feel like Diego Ferreira has kind of doubled down on his strengths more, and I think that might be the advantage he needs for this kind of fight. So I'm going to go with Diego on this one.
All right, I'm going to go Beneil Daryush because when he got to the UFC, he was on fire.
Yeah, he was.
I can't remember how many in a row, 3 or 4 in a row, and beating killers. And I was like, man, this dude's pretty good. And then he had a few losses. Edson Barboza, which is a beast.
Yeah.
And then he had a draw versus Evan Dunham. Evan Dunham is just hard to finish.
Evan Dunham was a beast too back then too.
He's like a dude that you just don't finish.
Yep.
But when he got in, he beat Jim Miller, Darren Cruikshank, Diego Fajeda.
He did beat him back then, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they've already fought. I didn't know this was going to be.
I didn't get to watch that fight.
So he beat Diego Fajeda, which he was undefeated at this point. No, he was 8-1.
What year was that when they fought? It must have been when he first got in.
He's had, man, I didn't know this dude had this many. I don't remember him fighting this many times. Charlie Brenneman was his first fight in the UFC. Won that in the first round, 145 rear naked choke.
Yeah, that's a great style matchup.
Then he had Ramsey Nijum.
Tough fight.
Lost first round punches. Then he went on to beat Anthony Martin, Diego Fajeda, Darren Cruikshank, Jim Miller, Michael Johnson, and then he lost to Michael Chiesa by rear naked choke, second round, which Michael Chiesa is a beast on the ground. So, then he beat James Vick, and that's when James Vick was undefeated, 9-0, looking good. Then he beat Rashid Magomedov. Then he lost to Edson. Then he had a draw with Evan. Then he lost to Aaron Hernandez. Aaron Hernandez. He lost to him in prison. Alexander Hernandez. First round punches. That's when Alex Hernandez was coming on and looking really good. That's right before he lost.
That was his first fight in the UFC, right?
I can't recall if it was.
I think that was his first fight, and he just knocked out Daryush, and everyone was like, what the hell just happened?
And then he went on that little run until Cowboy beat him up and finished him.
He talked his way into a cowboy fight somehow.
Yeah, didn't want that.
I think he only had like 2 fights before he fought cowboy. Check his record. Let's see. I think that was his first UFC fight. He knocked out Daryush. I was like, what the hell? This guy's the truth. And he's like, yeah, I am the truth. Give me cowboy.
Yeah, it was his first UFC fight.
Yeah. And then he beat one other guy, and it wasn't that impressive. And then they gave him cowboy, and he got killed.
Yeah. Aubin Mercier.
Yeah, that wasn't a great fight.
So then he beat Thiago Moises, Drew Dober, which is a good win. Frank Camacho, Drakkar Close, that's the one where he got comeback of the year. Scott Holtzman, and now he's got this fight. So
so that's his current streak.
Yeah,
that's better than I thought it was.
I'm going Beneil Dariush, like I said before we even looked.
Yeah, I didn't know he had that streak on right now.
Oh, don't change it now.
No, let's look up Diego though, because he got a win over Diego. That was really close to the beginning of Diego's UFC career, though. I think. Let me see.
Diego's first UFC fight was Colton Smith, who I don't even know who.
Oh no, Colton's good. He's a wrestler out of Texas. He's one of Tim Kennedy's guys. Black belt under Tim Kennedy. He was on The Ultimate Fighter. He's good. I've rolled him before. He's tough.
His record says it's 3-3.
What?
At that point when they fought, he was 3-3.
That was probably right after The Ultimate Fighter. He's pretty tough though.
Ultimate Fighter doesn't go down on your.
Yeah.
But then he beat Ramsey Nijum again, the same dude that Beneil fought, then lost to Beneil, then lost to Dustin Poirier. And his striking has gotten a lot better from last I remember. So I think it'd be a good fight.
They both got a good run right now. So
I think it'd be a good fight, but I don't think it's going to be the same. Yeah, he looked really good against Anthony Pettis his last fight. His striking looked good. I thought he was going to try to take him down and do this. He was piecing him up. All right, on to the next fight. So you got Fajeda. I got Daryush. That's going to be one for me.
That should be a good fight. I like that style matchup. I think it's going to be a fun one.
Cody Stamen was supposed to be fighting. What's the longer 135 that I would try to get a fight with at one time?
Sugar Sean?
No, striker. Looks mixed or black.
Andre Ewell?
Yeah, Andre Ewell. That's who he's supposed to be fighting with.
He would have killed that guy.
Well, Andre Ewell's striking's good.
He is.
But if he gets taken down.
He's terrible on the ground.
So now he got replaced by Raskar. And I haven't really seen him fight. I know I've heard a lot about him, but I haven't really seen him fight. But let's see what his record is. He fought on Island Fights. That's how I know the name, because he fought down here on the coast at Dean's show. Island Fights, he beat Alberto Martinez, rear naked choke first round.
Which one was that? Was I there for that one? Was it on the card you fought on? Or
Island Fight 60. No, I was in the UFC at this point.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know if that was old or not. Is this his UFC debut?
This is his debut.
He's fighting Stamen in his UFC debut.
Yeah, his last minute replacement.
I'm picking Stamen.
Yeah, I was picking Stamen regardless.
Stamen's a beast. That's a tough fight, man.
He trains out there with Coach Casey and all them. It's a good setup for him.
Yeah, his wrestling is really, really good too.
All right, next one: Alexander Pantoja versus Manel Cappy. I don't know who he is. I don't know I haven't heard of him either. It might be his debut. Pantoja's a beast.
I feel like I've seen him fight before. He's pretty good, but I'm going with Pantoja.
15-4.
Yeah.
He fought. Oh yeah, he's had 3 fights on Risen, but 23-12, 23-13, 14-1. I mean, he's fought some decent guys, but those dudes aren't the same as fighting somebody in the UFC.
No, Pantoja's a beast, and
Yeah, I'm going Pantoja. Now this one right here is tricky. This next one, Michael Johnson, Clay Guida. It's tricky because Clay Guida is going to have the endurance, the head movement, the hair whip, and the endurance. But if Michael Johnson can somehow catch him, then it doesn't matter. But that's a tough one to pick. Michael Johnson now 19-16, now looking great. He moved up to lightweight. And which is crazy, at one point, who do you have knocked out? Khabib?
Oh, yeah. He was
pretty
the
much
first guy to land a good shot on Khabib.
Yeah, pretty much almost had him knocked out. And then Clay Guida's 35-20. Clay's fought everybody, beat Anthony Pettis.
But you look at Michael Johnson, he knocked out. He was the last person to knock out Tony Ferguson.
Oh, yeah.
And he knocked out Dustin Poirier.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
And he's like, everyone looks at him like he's not a serious threat. But, like, man, talk about a guy that knocked out Tony Ferguson and Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
That guy's a threat, always.
Always. He has power. And he's got decent wrestling. And really, his like, offensive wrestling's not great, but his defensive wrestling's good. And he trains down there with Kamaru Usman and all them. So
Yeah, his actual like submission skills are really weak though.
100%.
Yeah, Clay's good, but like he hasn't like I mean, dude, he's been in the UFC for 10 years.
And Clay's training out there at Team Alpha Male. He's going to be.
Is he at Alpha Male now?
Yeah, I'm going Clay Guida.
I'm going with Guida also. It's Johnson's got a puncher's chance always, and I'm not sure how Clay's been against southpaws, but I mean, Clay he is never going to stop. You have to.
Yeah.
He's got to get slept out, or he's going to keep coming forward.
Yep.
So what he did his fight with Ortega was like amazing. I love that fight.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and he was beating Brian Ortega.
Was destroying Ortega.
And then got beat in like the last 30 seconds of the fight. I think that was when I first moved down here, and I like just got to Twin Peaks. Like, how's that fight going? This is one I've been wanting to watch. And then he got finished like right as I got
30
there,
seconds left in the fight. Got
bro,
slept.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Next fight I love. Corey Sandhagen, Frankie Edgar.
Beautiful.
Ooh, that's a tough one too. But Corey Sandhagen, the new up-and-comer, been murdering people. He's ranked number 3 right now. Frankie Edgar making is this his bantamweight debut now, or did he already have one?
No, he's done bantamweight.
Yeah, I want to say he had one.
I think he fought Marlon. No, not Marlon.
Pedro Munoz.
Pedro Munoz. Yeah.
That's the only one he's had at bantamweight.
Man, talk about one of the greats of all time, Frankie Edgar. Like you know how small he is, right?
He's probably 55 champ.
He's probably the smallest guy at 135 right now, or up there. He's like in the top. He's probably in the bottom 20% of 135ers size-wise.
Yeah.
So you talk about a guy that could have been fighting at 125. Really, probably belongs at 125.
Yeah.
He was the 155-pound champ for like how long?
So like they got all these rankings and all the tabology. It's current best MMA bantamweight fighter. He's number 10. Number 21 greatest MMA fighter of all time. Number 39 greatest MMA grappler of all time. Number 51 MMA greatest striker of all time. Number 16 MMA fighter of the year for 2015. Number 32 current best pound for pound fighter, and number 47 top fan favorite MMA fighter.
He deserves all that, man. He's
awesome. I agree. His fights with who do you have the
Gray Maynard?
Gray Maynard, that trilogy. Great fights.
Yeah.
Him coming back on some of those was crazy.
Amazing. Mind-blowing, really.
But with all that being said, I got to go with the young killer, Corey Sandhagen. That dude brings a different style. I think I know Frankie's a good black belt, and he trains up there with beasts, but if he takes him down, Corey's going to sweep or submit. That's just how I see it going. And on the feet, I think he's just going to piece him up.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on the feet. Frankie's got some great skills to bring to the table and cause problems for Corey. And Corey's been outstanding. He's amazing. I mean, I think he's for sure championship material, and I think we'll probably see him wearing the strap one day.
I do too.
I think this is an interesting matchup, though, man. My first instinct is obviously Corey. He's younger. He's got slick skill set. He's super dynamic with what he throws. He's good on the ground. But I think if it does go to the ground, Frankie's going to be able to stop his attacks and be able to get the win on the ground.
You think he's going to do like he did Yoel? I mean, not Yoel, but Yair.
I don't think it'll be that bad. But I do think he will ride out a decision. If he can get Corey to the ground, he will not get submitted.
I do remember when everybody was talking about, oh, man, Yair's striking so much better than Frankie's and this and that, and he got taken down.
Yeah, I made some money on that fight.
Yeah. Well, I think Corey's going to be able to handle that.
I think he could probably stop the takedowns, and if he does get taken down, he won't get pounded out the way.
No, I think he'll sweep. I think, like I said, sweep or submit, because he's going to get something that's going to off-balance Frankie to where he has to give up position so he can get up. So that's personally what I think. I think it's going to be a 29-28 Corey Sandhagen. I'm going to go
29-28 Frankie Edgar.
All right. Main event. 2 veterans, Alistair Overeem, Alexander Volkov. Alistair's, I want to say he's trying to make one more title run, or he said this is his last fight. I can't remember. He's been changing it up, so I can't remember what the last thing he said was. But I got Alexander Volkov. I think Alistair's taken too much damage over the years. He doesn't move like he used to. He's still got power. He showed that in his last fight. I can't remember exactly who he fought, but he was fighting Walt Harris, not that last fight, but the fight before.
Yeah, he saved his life.
Man, Walt Harris was getting pieced up. I mean, Walt Harris was piecing him up, and then And then guess he kind of gets a little tired. And what'd you say? The heel hook saved his life?
Heel hook saved his life. It was beautiful.
Went for like a fake heel hook. But I doubt he would have been able to finish it. And
he wasn't trying to finish. He was just trying to get on top.
Exactly. Well, it made him get on top. And from there, finished it out with a ground and pound. Then he's won one fight since then, Augusto Saki. And then
that was a good performance too, man. He looked really impressive against the guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I still don't think it's going to be quite enough to take on Volkov.
Yeah, I hate to agree. Volkov is an absolute monster, and man, I really want to see Overeem pull this off. And I tend to go with my heart on these, so I'm picking the two old guys. I'm going to pick Overeem. I think that, man, he's got so much experience. He knows that his chin ain't what it used to be. He's going to play it safe. He's got a decent ground game now, and his striking's phenomenal. And he can use his striking to set up his takedowns, and we've seen it before, how he's been improving his ground game, looking for the submission more, using submissions to get into better positions, play it smart. He knows how to survive, like we saw against Walt Harris. I mean, reality, if Volkov hits him like that, he's probably not going to give him an opportunity for a heel hook, But, But, man, it's hard to pick against Overeem. Hard to pick against Overeem for me, so I'm just going to pick him.
How do you got it, though? Knockout, TKO, what? You ain't going heel hook. If you go heel hook, I bet you money.
No. I might, I'm going to – man, it's a tough one for me. I do not want to pick against Overeem, so I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to pick Overeem to win by decision.
All right. You got a score on that?
Not going to pick a score.
What if it comes? All right. Yeah, what if I picked Overeem and it came down to decision too?
All right, you're going to pick Overeem?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I just wanted to see you.
Look, I honestly, if I would never, ever bet this. I would never bet on this fight. I just, I'm going with my heart a little bit on this. I really want to see Overeem win. I really want to see him do it, man.
You going to go with that same score Max had?
Yeah, right.
You going to have that same score?
Yeah, so what about Volkov? Who knocked Volkov out?
I want to say Derek Lewis.
He knocks everybody out.
But Volkov was winning that entire fight.
Yeah.
That was when I was there at that fight. That was the Conor McGregor versus Khabib. And there was literally 11 seconds left. And Derek Lewis just threw one of those hitters and hit him.
Yeah.
He was getting pieced up until that point. Since then, of course, Volkov made it look easy against Greg Hardy. Which they gave Greg Hardy that way too early. Curtis Blades won, of course, takedowns, ground and pound, but unanimous decision. Then Volkov's beat Walt Harris. So
yeah, and he looked impressive in that fight.
And you got to think about all the people Volkov's beat.
Yeah.
Verdum, Stefan Struve, which I don't think that's a big one for me. Stefan's lost. Hasn't looked good in a long time.
He doesn't look good when he wins, but he wins a lot.
He hasn't won a lot in a long time.
Yeah.
Roy Nelson, Tim Johnson. I don't know. I think Volkov's just going to stand out there. I'm not going to say he's necessarily going to knock him out. Look at Stefan Struve's record. He's won one out of his last 6.
Yeah.
And all the other ones were mostly finishes.
He's got a couple streaks in his career, though.
Oh, yeah, a long time ago. But with that being said, I'm going Volkov I would say by decision. I just don't think.
Volkov by knockout is I'm sure a highly favorable pick.
I would say by decision, but I don't see Alistair being able to take the shots that long to the fight. So I'm going third round TKO by Volkov. See, I actually picked my round. Pick how it's going to be.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Well, regardless, I like it because we both have
a 5-round fight, right?
5-round fight, main event. I like it because we both have a bunch of different picks, so we get to see.
We can't get them all wrong.
We can't get them all wrong.
Yeah. So I went with the old guy, so I'm at a big disadvantage on this one.
Went with the old heads.
Yeah. But I legitimately, I think if Frankie can get this one to the ground, I wasn't going to pick Frank. I was going to pick Corey anyway. I was going to just say if Frankie gets him to the ground, he's not going to get submitted. He will win the fight. But, come to think of it, I do think Frankie can find a way to get to the ground. He's got a lot of experience. And Corey's fights smart. He's not like Brian Ortega. He's not just going to stand there and, throw at him when he knows the takedown's possible, he's going to be more worried about getting taken down than Brian Ortega was. And that was the reason I picked Ortega to knock him out.
So you do think that Frankie's going to win?
Yeah, I think I'm going to pick Frankie.
All right. Well, I think that's going to be fight of the night.
That should be a great one, yeah.
And I think Corey Sandhagen wins. But I appreciate you doing it, and we'll see who gets. Hopefully, we did better than 1-5 and 0-5.
Yeah, one of us will. I mean, the only one we picked together was Clay Guida, right?
Clay. Well, Clay.
And Pantoja.
No, Corey Stamen.
And Stamen,
and
all right.
Pantoja. So the first three.
Those ones are going to win, though.
Oh, they got to win. You got to win.
Yeah.
You got to win for us. Can't make us look bad all year because it's going to be a long year if we do.
Yeah.
But that's quick hits with Mike and Brandon. And
good stuff, man.
Y'all take it easy.